Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TOTB podcast. It's another special episode. It's another themed episode. It's our Sonic Spectacular
Welcome back,
episode.
everyone.
Woo!
Sonic, man. We have all of those set up right here.
Yeah, we've got one of the rare Chaos Emeralds with us, actually.
Yeah,
it's,
fortunately.
Hopefully, the federal government doesn't come after us for obtaining one of their rare jewels.
Right. Hey, we got it fair and square, right? Finders keepers.
Yeah, that. Now, when it comes to the government, they don't believe in that. They don't follow those rules. But it is, in fact, the 33rd anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I am a huge fan of Sonic. I've been a huge fan since I was 5 years old. So I thought, what would make more sense for me to perform something like this for my podcast with all the other Sonic fans. I love the community.
Yeah.
And so while this show is about degeneracy, there is none other fan base more notorious for its online degeneracy than the Sonic fan base. All pale in comparison to the degeneracy.
All pale.
They all pale in comparison to the notoriety.
Really? The Sonic base.
The Sonic fan base is every community knows about Sonic fan art. That is the one main overarching idea of infamy. When it comes to degeneracy online, it's always with the Sonic fan base. Now, I love this fan base because there's many good things that go on in the fan base. There's Sonic Revolution, there's the Sonic Amateur Games Expo, and then there's Summer of Sonic and Sonic Boom, which are all fan conventions that are held by fans that SEGA supports. But this is not one of those good things.
Oh, no.
No, but we are going to talk about an amateur Sonic fan game called Sonic Omens.
I've heard this game. This is, the fan game.
Yes, this is a fan game. It had gotten a lot of notoriety because, the studio that's behind it called Ouroboros. But before they were known as Ouroboros, they had gone under the name of Mania Team. And the reason why many, including myself, believe that it is because there was a game called Sonic Mania, and that was one of the biggest Sonic games in the past few years. So they were trying to ride the hype of the Mania Team.
Oh.
That was...
They were trying to catch some of their attention.
Exactly, because even though the Mania Team that created Sonic Mania is known as Headcanon, that is their name, they started off as a fan group first that SEGA hired to produce this game. But the community references them as the Mania Team. The Mania Team. So... Ouroboros, before they were Ouroboros, called themselves Mania Team. But this wasn't the first thing they did to try to get hype off of an official Sonic product. So in the launch, during the launch of Sonic Mania, there was a second game that came called Sonic Forces. But before that, it went under the codename of Project Sonic 2017.
Project
Sonic 2017. So before that game, but once that game came out, they were coincided with, Mania is supposed to be a prequel to that game. Before Sonic Omens had its name, they did something similar. They called it Sonic 2020. Because they were...
Really?
Yeah.
So that's their whole deal, just trying to ride off the wave of attention they get?
They're trying to masquerade them as an official SEGA product because SEGA was going with these code names.
Get their product out there.
Yeah, so it at least tells you that they're in tune with the community. They know what the community is talking about. But the reason why I bring up this fan game in particular is because it was last year when it went through quite the controversy, or it might be 2 years ago, in fact, by now. So SEGA has a policy when it comes to fan games. You can do whatever you want with the characters that they produce, but you can't make money off of it.
Right.
And what many fans in the community pointed out what Ouroboros was doing with Sonic Omens was that they would put art or levels, build, playtests behind a paywall in Patreon. And
okay. And that's how they were benefiting off of this.
That is how they were making their own money off of this, which is obviously it's against SEGA policies.
Oh, yeah.
And this wasn't the only gripe the community had with Ouroboros. Secondly, there was there's a level inside of Sonic Omens called level Area 99. And the song, which was produced by a guy named John Rice, he also he's under fire because his track for Area 99 sounds similar to a level from a video game, Cars 2, the video game. And
I was seeing, right? Because they were having trouble with that because they were saying he was stealing. They were stealing
plagiarism. That the song
the
is
music.
plagiarizing Unknown Race, or on the DS version of the game is called Oil Rig Race. I listened to the songs. I'm not going to play any of the songs here because John Rise has been accused of striking down videos that either contain his work or are critical of it.
Right.
So for the protection of our channel, under fair use, we will only discuss his use or the plagiarism. I've heard the songs for myself. Now I wish I would be able to play for the audience and play for Jay, so we can all determine under our own volition. But we'll have to do that. We'll have to do our own research and come to that conclusion ourselves. So I'll circle back to my own personal thoughts on the song. But lastly, the third accusation, and quite frankly, what might be the most serious, is that the source code for the game leaked, and you're able to see like the textures of the games and everything, including if characters are wearing something, you can see what's under it.
Yeah.
So there's a character in the Sonic franchise known as Maria. She's very important to Shadow, and this being the year of Shadow, it seems appropriate that people should become familiar with who she is, because she'll be in Sonic Movie 3, she'll be in Sonic X Shadow Generations. So she's very important to Shadow. She's considered his surrogate sister because like they grew up together.
Yeah.
In this game, spoiler alerts for everybody who wants to play Sonic Omens, she is the final boss of the game.
And this game is still made by them, right?
This game is still made by them. So this is not an official SEGA product. This character, Maria, is a final boss in Sonic Omens. Now, that's not the issue. So some find it kind of is an issue, but it's not a big deal. What the big deal is, in the source code, usually these character models are built before they're built out naked, and before they put the clothes on them, so they can model the body. Well, for this character, for Maria, she had a text written on her underpants. In the text read text. And the text read "bad girl" on it.
Oh, really? And people caught it.
People caught it. And the reason why this is a problem is because Maria is 12 years old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what were the developers thinking?
Well,
that is insane.
The developers are Russian. And and now that's not saying anything, but they outsourced the build of the model from a girl who was a 3D modeler. Her name was Eva Mudisu, and she claimed that she built the model, and she's Ukrainian.
Oh, you think so? It came from her.
And she says
it was already on there that they like totally missed.
Well, she says it was. It's similar to a pair of underwear she owned when she was a kid. So she was modeling it after her own experiences as a kid.
Wow. So the whole model of this girl is literally her. It's like her physical appearance.
It's not her physical appearance, but the underwear is like the underwear she owned as a kid, because the character is already an established character in the Sonic lore. The only thing she modeled after herself was the underwear that she owned, and she thought it would be a funny joke that if she put that. Yeah.
Oh no. What a great idea.
So the person who brought all these accusations to light is a YouTuber. Well, in this document, they are going under the name of Farkle, but they're on YouTube as Sparkle Gem.
Oh, okay.
And they are the ones that put out these documents on an unofficial Twitter account for the Sonic Omens game called Sonic Omens on Twitter, or Sonic Womens to mock the game, because the game was the Twitter account was started to mock Sonic Omens. It was not a fan account. It was started to mock the game, and it got popular because it was satirical. And Farkle asked the owner of the account to release this document onto Twitter for them.
Oh, okay. And how long ago was this?
This was end of 2022, early beginning, and the whole drama dragged out into 2023.
Yeah.
And so these are all of the allegations that Farkle raises, among other things, but it's too long of a document. I don't really want to go into it, and it seems more like petty internet drama between them and the devs, because they were on Discord, and things go down in Discord.
Oh yeah.
So I'll move past that. But the most important things are the money. The plagiarism, and Maria's model.
Yeah.
So the more easily one that we can go through is probably Maria. One, we just talked about it, and two, it was Ouroboros admitted to it. Right? They said it's true. this happened. It was this girl that we hired. We outsourced. They made clear that they outsourced her. It wasn't a developer on their team. They said we outsourced her.
But they're the ones getting in trouble.
They're the ones getting in trouble.
Because how do they miss that?
I think they thought there was nothing wrong with it. And then now that they're getting flacked, they're like, "Oh, we'll remove it."
People thought it was gonna be like a little joke. Everybody's gonna be in on it if you play the game.
Yeah, or because you can't see it, like
at all. So how did it figure it out?
It was in the source code. So
someone went through the source code.
It leaked. Saying. Yeah, it leaked, and people were reading like I guess so you can find like alleyways or glitches, so you can cheat through the game. But someone found that the Maria model was underneath her long blue dress that she's establishedly known for wearing. She had that underwear on, so at no point in the game could you ever see it. But it was a secret joke for the developers, right? But they said it was this girl from Ukraine that they outsourced the work from, and she put it on there.
Yeah, they were probably all right with it.
Yeah, I think they were all right with. I think they had to be all right with it.
They probably were. Like,
they thought it was funny because they're Russians, you know. So they have a different sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
And they're internet dwellers, so they obviously have a more
extra layer of degeneracy.
Exactly. So they admitted to that. So that's a 1 W for Farkle. That's a W for Farkle right there for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Because they made a patch and they removed it, so now it's gone.
So it's fixed now.
It's fixed. The second one would be the plagiarism. Now I want to go through this one again because it's quickly. We can go through this one quickly. I heard the tracks myself. There is a slight similarity to it.
Yeah.
But even in Ouroboros released an official statement in a Google document as well. And they laid out what the composition looks like, and it is completely different.
It is different.
It is completely
different. Sounds similar.
It just sounds similar. There are points in tempo where it kind of matches the Cars 2 song, but you can tell the composition and instrumentation is placed completely differently.
Okay.
But for a layman, I think it sounds like it's been plagiarized. But in my personal opinion, because I listened to the tracks, because even as a joke, for Sparkle Jim, aka Farkle, posted a version of the Cars 2 song, slightly rearranged, and called it the Sonic Omens level song on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Just as a joke to point out how closely it sounds to it. But in my personal opinion, John Rice has it on his own YouTube channel, and it sounds similar in style, but I can certainly tell that the notes and instrumentation, the composition is completely different. So I don't
still see the distinction.
Yeah, but there are in his comment section is filled with people saying, this reminds me. It totally encompasses a famous red car driving down a racetrack.
Right.
They say another comment was, it totally encapsulates the feeling of being a brown pickup truck turned into a secret agent.
Oh yeah.
So obviously people know about the drama, they know about the controversy, and they decided to mock him, which
it's all kind of joke.
Yeah, which to my surprise, apparently the Ouroboros is known for censorship, so I'm surprised those comments are still up there and they haven't been deleted. If it's true that he deletes and censors criticism, if it's true, then I'm surprised that it's still up there.
Yeah.
So lastly, and most importantly, the biggest deal is obviously the profit, because
the profit
with the Patreon making money off of Sonic's IP.
Yeah. Because
that might change the direction of Sega's policy for fan games.
Right, because they're really nice, right? They're allowing you to do whatever you want with their characters, games, movies, shows, whatever, right? As long as you don't make money off of it.
Exactly. As long as you don't make any money, you are allowed to do whatever. Literally, there is a Sonic fan game convention called SAGE. It stands for Sonic Amateur Game Expo, and they hold it every year where more than dozens, maybe 20, 30 Sonic fan games come out. And they hold it.
And this has kind of become an official thing, right?
It's an unofficial Sega-supported thing.
Officially unofficial.
It's officially unofficial. Sega knows about it. Sega loves it.
Unofficially official. There you go.
Yeah, because there have been periods of time where Sega doesn't release a Sonic game for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so imagine they don't release an official game for 4 years, and then they're stopping fans from producing their own games for that same amount of time.
Oh, really?
Imagine. So the fan base would lose interest. So they know they have to let the fans play with their IP themselves to keep themselves entertained.
I think that's a great idea, really.
Yeah, and it's certainly worked in their favor when you see them discuss cases like Nintendo, which will shut down any fan game, any fan animation that comes out, just because they say you have to work with licensed products. And in their defense, in Nintendo's defense, one, they're legally allowed to do it, and two, they do put out Mario content every year. Yeah, even if they're not making money, if they make a Mario game for free, they'll just shut it down just because.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. I mean, but I mean, it is what it is, right? They're allowed to do it.
They're-
It's their thing, whatever.
Yeah, they're like, you only play with what we give you.
Yeah.
You know? But so Sega's completely different. And
Mhm.
this would change the trajectory because Sega would have to DMCA. And when you DMCA one, so according to copyright law, if you allow others to infringe on your copyright, you are subject to losing that copyright.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if Sega DMCA'd one but didn't DMCA everything else, they might, potentially lose their right to owning Sonic.
Wow.
So that's why it's a gray, horrible line that they have to walk. They're trying to be nice to the community, but there are potentially bad actors like Ouroboros that are coming out and trying to make some
Right.
profit.
Just
Now,
bad intentions.
Ouroboros did respond to these allegations in their document because Farkle alleges a few things. They have there's a website where you can upload fan games called Game Jolt, and there were ads on the page, and they had approved that they made $10 off these ads. They said that they didn't know,
Okay.
but
So that counts ads over like the games or whatever. That counts as making because it goes directly to them, right?
yeah, and not only that, but it could be because they have original games too. Ouroboros also makes original IP, but they had the ads placed on their Sonic Omens page.
Oh, okay.
And of course, that was going to be the page that drew the most traffic and that made the most money.
Okay.
So, they claim that they didn't know that they had these ads on, and thanks to the Farkle document, they shut the ads off.
Okay.
But they showed their page that they made $10 off of it. Now, there was a second response because after Farkle released this document, he kind of just went away. But there was a person who he was working with named Poncho 0411. He pointed out that on Game Jolt, when you make revenue, you don't have to withdraw. And in the screenshot that Ouroboros provided, they withdrew the $10.
Oh, they took
the money. They took the money.
We definitely got $10
that they made. They said you can leave the money there, and eventually it expires. So you don't make any money, you don't claim it, but they claim the money.
$10.
So when this was pointed out, Ouroboros said that they were gonna take the money and buy the official Sonic games that were coming out. Now, the reason why this is a huge problem is because Sonic Omens was releasing at the same time Sonic Frontiers was coming out, and Sonic Frontiers is an official Sonic game, so that's considered competition, right?
Oh, right.
So they're taking profit from Sega if they're making money, saying, why would we pay to play a $60 Sonic game when we could play a free Sonic game that's just as good?
Right,
You know, that's competition, and they're doing it with their own IP.
And he said he was going to take, they said they were going to take the money, the $10 that they made.
And add their own money because the game is $60.
Right.
And buy a copy of Sonic Frontiers or originally it was Sonic Origins, which is another Sonic Sega official game. They did it to buy Sonic Frontiers first, and then they said they were going to give it away to fans so that way the money and extra money went to Sega, and it's not like they made the money themselves.
Yeah, right. Okay, and how many games does Ouroboros have of Sonic, unofficial games?
They have only Sonic Omens as their only Sonic.
Their only Sonic game.
Their only Sonic game.
Okay.
It's their biggest game because they've also, in tandem, they worked with another fan production for How to Train Your Dragon, which was on a Patreon page that they also tried making money off of.
Oh, really?
Related to one of their devs named Bolt. So again, they'd done this before they were Ouroboros when they were Mania team. They did this.
I don't know.
So,
sounds like there's something going on there, you know. But I mean,
it sounds like they know exactly what they're doing, and they obviously try to claim that they didn't make any money off the Patreon before they were popular. So it doesn't really count. So they deleted all of the articles that they had for the play builds for the Shadow episode that they were gonna put out, and they even had, because of all this, the Sega community reached out to Sega Community's manager, Katie.
Katie.
Yeah, Katie. Or it's like a European name, so I think it's Churanowski. It should be pronounced as Churanowski. And she was obviously hit with an influx of messages saying these people are stealing Sega's IP.
Right.
You gotta check them out. So she checked out their Patreon. She sent him a direct message saying she didn't see anything that was potentially infringing, but she did advise them to take off any of the material that they had on there relating to Sonic Omens, because on their Patreon page they had a picture of Sonic Omens on there.
Yeah.
So she said just like remove that, and even the free mentions of their ends up towards their Patreon
Right.
To just remove all of it.
Any of it.
Just whatever you're doing. If you post it on Twitter, that's fine. But if you have it on your Patreon, you can't do it because it could be making money.
Right.
She said that's just to keep them legal because she said if you make any money, obviously, we would have to engage our legal teams and that's no good.
That's no good. So who does the money go to when they make money
on Patreon?
Not on Patreon, but just off of like Sonic stuff, Sega, because they can't go out here and catch everyone who's doing it.
Right.
But if they do, like, shut it down, give us the money, take a share, donate it. What happens?
It depends on how intense Sega wants to be with their retaliation.
Right.
So Sega can DMCA, which means they require legally whatever site is holding it up to take it down.
Mm-hmm.
And any other place that has it also has a legal obligation to not host that type of content on there.
Right.
And if it made any money, Sega also has the option to sue and claim whatever damages that they can evaluate were taken from the Sonic IP.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say the game. So, Poncho responded to Ouroboros' response saying that they didn't make any money. They went back and they did the math. They said that during that time period when they were promoting the Shadow Beta, when it was known as Sonic 2020, and they were known as Mania Team, they had enough Patreon subscribers to make over $1,000.
Oh, really?
And
how long did they have that up?
They had it up until they were called out for it.
How long was that?
That was probably a span of 6 months to a year, I would say.
Oh, whoa.
So they had it up there for that long. And apparently Sega may or may not know. Maybe they don't really care, but now that it's gone, like, they're going to leave it because they don't want to influence the flow of fan games.
Mm-hmm.
But if Sega wanted to, they could say, they sue not only for the $1,000, but for the launch of Sonic Omens around the same time that Sonic Frontiers came out.
Right.
And they could say, well, that took that was shared the market space and it took up the competition.
Something that wasn't supposed to be up.
Exactly. And they used their own IP to compete against them in the market in which they're participating in, right?
Wow.
So they could sue them and they can estimate maybe $1 million in damages. Sega's over $1 billion company. They could say, you owe us $1 million. And that would essentially put Ouroboros out of business. And it's not like they can evade it, but even though they're in Russia, Patreon's in the US.
Right.
Which is where Sega's protected.
Exactly.
They also had a Russian version of Patreon called Bootsy, and they were doing the same thing on there.
Bootsy.
So they can make money and take donations from
any chance they get.
Any chance they get.
They know.
They know
exactly what they're doing. Yeah. Hey, we see you guys.
We know you Russians out there. Ouroboros, man. Slide dogs.
Hey. It's coming too obvious.
So that's I would say that's 2-1 for Farkle, because he was
2-1.
He was a little off on the plagiarism claims, I would say, but that's 2-1 Farkle. I would say Farkle leads 2-1 in the accusations, but it's the last update Ouroboros has made, and that Poncho I should say made was in August 2023, and at that point, this whole drama was influenced by the Russian-Ukraine war.
That's what influences?
Well, it influences it in the sense that they couldn't buy the giveaway game and give it out because they couldn't take the money out of PayPal because Russia had been sanctioned. So remember when the World Banks had frozen all assets to Russia?
Yeah. So
every US dollar that they had in their accounts could not be transferred to their banks because of the sanctions that were held. So up until now, which their sanctions are still on Russia, they still can't. So Poncho was suggesting they want to make it right. They just pay their own money, like the Russian rubles, and they give out the game that way, and then they just pocket the money that they had, like when the sanctions are over. But they refused to do it, and it seems like Ouroboros may be waiting for it to all die down, because now if you go back on their Twitter, all they're promoting is their new games, their new IPs, their own original stuff, and all of this has kind of blown over.
Stuck.
Yeah, but I wanted to cover it because I was like, as soon as it happened, I was following along with it because I'm into a lot of the Sonic drama and the Sonic. There's like a whole segment on YouTube known as the Sonic Tubers, so I was following in all of that, and I didn't know if there had ever been an update, and that's what kind of got me curious to check as we were coming up to do this show. I had looked ahead. And I thought it might be an interesting story, but so what is your take like on people doing this?
I thought the Sonic community wasn't as, as bad as they make it seem. It seems like a lot of genuine, nice people, but I guess not, People just do whatever they want to do wherever they are.
Yeah, and in particular, it seems like I will say I do think the Sonic fan base is really nice. Like you see, there's a lot of creative things.
Definitely.
It's its own. The whole
thing is just
ecosystem.
A lot of positivity. Yeah, it seems just the whole aura. The whole fan base is just positive vibes out there for everyone.
Yeah, and it's its own ecosystem. Like if that produces content, and that content, if it becomes profit, eventually goes to Sega because obviously they're getting free promo. They're getting free promo
from everyone who's a fan.
Exactly. And like even in the instance of Sonic Origins, there was a game called Sonic Triple Trouble originally released for the Game Gear, and that game is like it's an 8-bit Sonic game because it's like which was Sega's equivalent of the Game Boy, are all 8-bit games. There was a fan game that I've actually downloaded called Sonic Triple Trouble Remastered, and it was an entire recreation of Sonic Triple Trouble, but in the 16-bit era.
That's awesome.
And that was free. That was free.
That looks cool.
And it was really good. It's really good. There's no ads. It's completely free. And I enjoyed that game. And I think if, because they didn't make any money, and because that game is also popular, because it's good, it's not bad, it's really good, you could think it's good promo for Sonic Origins, for people to buy Sonic Origins.
Right. And that kind of just really adds to, I guess, their lineup, the products that they have, and just kind of advertising all their IPs. And stuff, it just adds to it.
Exactly. So, I thought it was, really bad that they had done this, just because they're gonna endanger the community with the ecosystem that the community has developed over time, and the good relationship that Sega. But thankfully, Sega seems chill enough to let whatever $1,000 that Ouroboros made to slide for the sake of the community.
Yeah,
for the sake of the community. So that is something that I think we can all appreciate.
Yeah, Mother Sega.
Sega.
Letting us know our boundaries, be a good boy.
Yeah. They let you she let Ouroboros know.
Damn, it's getting hot as hell in here.
It is. It's pretty hot. But,
I think it's just me. My sweater.
Because you are wearing a sweater.
Thick, and I'm wearing a long sleeve too. Bad decision.
And you got your Sonic with you.
And my Sonic is keeping
little Squishmallow Sonic.
And
but
these seats are really comfortable and thick.
Oh, they are. They are very nice. But that was the Ouroboros controversy. If anybody is interested in Sonic related content, if you go to Game Jolt, or if you just look up Sage, any year Sonic and the Falling Star is also a good game that I was interested in.
Right.
Sonic Robo Blast are other fan games that are out there that are really good. And it's just a shame too because Sonic Omens looks really good. It looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks like a really good game. It looks like it was developed by Sega.
When was it set to release?
Oh, it came out in 2022, I believe.
Damn, I'm late on this. 2 years late.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm not the biggest Sonic fan. I mean, I don't hate him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not as into it as you are.
Yeah.
I like Sonic for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just not, I haven't been keeping up with it.
Like for the Sonic connoisseurs who don't recognize this pose,
look at that.
This is from he's reenacting the pose from Sonic Heroes in this pose right here. For anybody who doesn't recognize it, that's exactly what that is.
Nice.
That's how long of a fan that I've been. I know the little intricacies, the little poses, the references.
Yeah. You said you played every single Sonic game.
I'm trying to. I've played all the mainline games, just not the spin-offs that I'm trying to reaccumulate, like the Game Boy games, the DS games. I'm slowly making my way to collect all of them. I'm almost done. Almost done collecting every single one.
Awesome.
But I'll get there in maybe 2-3 more years.
2-3? Okay, cool.
But
show them off later.
Exactly. And so if we want to talk more about fan interactions with and making money where possibly they shouldn't, it's time for Scam Alert.
Scam Alert.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
There is a scam that is involved in the Sonic community. And it is...
Of course.
There has to be a scam everywhere, right?
Right. I mean, I realized there was, wherever you think it isn't, it's there.
Exactly. So, this scam is called TailsToken.
Oh, I've actually heard of this. TailsToken, crypto scam.
It is, in fact, a crypto scam. And TailsToken, this was brought to my attention by a Sonic tuber named The Sonic Show. Shout out to Jaden
Shout out.
on YouTube. He released a 20-minute video on this, going through the whole timeline. I'm not gonna go through the whole timeline just because I don't want to take his content.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think it's interesting that this token actually reached over $24 million in its market cap.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's actually, well, I don't know, the process of how it became a scam, but I honestly think it was kind of cool, like a Sonic cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
Cool to just kind of have maybe one or two or a couple, be like, yeah, I've actually got some Sonic currency. It was actually worth something, right?
At one point before it was rug pulled. So eventually,
yeah, exactly. At some point, it was worth something.
So eventually, so for anybody who doesn't know the Sega's interactions with cryptocurrency, around the time this was made, Sega actually had announced that they had planned to release a cryptocurrency for all their Sega IP.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna do more like, I would have figured they would have done like NFTs.
Yes, it was NFT. It was NFT cryptocurrency. So it was like,
oh, okay,
they were gonna do that, but it was met with such backlash, such vitriol
Really?
from
Why?
the community, because they know how this usually goes. Like cryptocurrency turns into a scam. It's made into money, and then like it just devalues the company as a whole.
right.
And Sega in Japan and in America has this promise to use eco-friendly systems and when they're powering the engineering of their games in their companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like for their arcades, they had it was made off of green energy and solar power.
That's cool.
So when one of the biggest gripes for developing this cryptocurrency was when you mine cryptocurrency, it takes up a lot of power. You need a lot of power to mine this cryptocurrency. So they were like, you're going back on your promise to protect the environment. And so it was like in 72 hours, Sega said that they were canceling their crypto projects.
Oh, wow. Did they get to release anything?
They had announced it that they were going to work on this and it was going to release next year. And then 72 hours later, they said, "No, we heard the feedback and we appreciate our community. We're no longer going through with the NFTs." And
they got called out.
They got called out, and it was not long after that when it was around the time Sonic Movie 2 was coming out,
mm-hmm.
and there was a Super Bowl commercial promoting Sonic Movie 2, in which they flip a coin, like in a football game, you flip a coin to decide who gets possession of the ball.
Yeah.
It flipped, and there was a Tails on it, a Tails coin. There's like a Tails coin on it. And Jaden from Sonic Show pointed this out on Twitter. He said, "Tails coin, I'm calling it now. I'm dumping my life savings into this."
Oh, really?
And one of his followers pointed out, "You joke, but it's real." And they linked him to TailsToken. And that's when he just started investigating this whole thing that was going on.
But it's real.
It was real. It was in fact real.
Did you get to see how much it was worth?
It was at that time, I'm not sure, but before it was rug pulled, it had a market cap value of $24 million. So I guess at that point, I'm assuming it sold for like $24 a token, because market cap value is estimated between like the price of the coin and how many coins are in circulation.
Yeah.
So if it's 24 million in cap, that means there's 24 million.
$24.
I mean, it's a conservative estimate. I'm not sure myself.
Yeah.
But if we say there's 24 million tokens in circulation, then we could say that it was worth $24.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had seen some people saying they dumped 10K into it and they lost that 10K.
They lost 10K.
When the creator of the token named Teddy rug pulled. So he
made the money.
He made the money. He claimed to have been a part of Inu Shiba, which is another popular cryptocurrency which was made to rival Dogecoin.
Yeah.
But he lied. He didn't.
He didn't?
He says he...
That's a terrible lie, too, because Dogecoin kind of sucked.
Yeah. It was up there, and then it crashed.
Yeah,
and then,
I did make,
Oh,
I did make some money off Dogecoin, yeah, honestly.
But you were smart enough. You didn't hodl.
No, I didn't. I wasn't greedy.
Oh, I see.
I pulled out before.
Right. Well, you don't have diamond hands. You have them quick hands, right?
Yeah, that pull-out game. But, yeah.
So eventually, in 2021, Teddy stopped posting. Well, before 2021, he had posted on Twitter that 680 people were talking about TailsToken, which was not true. He had just put Tails in the Twitter search, and this was when the Tails commercial was released.
Right.
And he said, "Look how many people are talking about TailsToken. look how we're excited, we're going to the
man.
moon. And based off of that, because eventually the growth of TailsToken stopped growing, he had released 2 spin-offs. He released the Knuckles token and Gold Sonic.
And Gold Sonic.
Gold Sonic, not Super Sonic, because there was already a cryptocurrency called Super Sonic.
Another scam.
Another scam, but completely unrelated to Sega.
Unrelated scam.
Unrelated to Sega or the Sonic IP. It was Gold Sonic. We got Gold Sonic right here.
Yeah, Gold Sonic.
There he is, Gold Sonic. And then, he also related all these. He called it the Sega Game Alliance, is what he started calling his company, just to mooch off of Sega.
Yeah, when it starts sounding bad, you know it's bad.
And he had just taken 3D renders of the Sega characters that already existed from Sega's website, and he put them on his website. And if you go to the TailsToken website right now, it just does not work. It's down. It's completely down.
It's shut down.
It's completely down. In 2021, he posted, "Tomorrow's a big day. Can't wait to announce it." And then he rug pulled everything. He stole all the money.
I mean, at least he announced it. He said something was going on.
Because he would do that like every week. He's like, "Oh, big announcement," and then he'd just like retweet some crypto account promoting TailsToken.
Yeah.
And then he just rug pulled it, and then he was never heard from again until somebody found out he had joined another crypto project.
So there was no repercussions for this.
So far, he has not been caught. We don't even know his real identity.
Oh,
he's a part of a new project called Saitomurai. Saitomurai, I guess it's based off of another cryptocurrency called Saitama, but this is Samurai Saitama. That's kind of like the thing. Yeah. And so that was his whole deal. That was TailsToken. I can't say don't buy it because it's obviously not available anymore. There are still some copium bros out there saying, can Teddy give the keys over to the communities? It has so much potential with the movies coming out.
Yeah. No.
And they're just not getting their money back.
They're not.
But there are some bros there in the TailsToken Reddit that are mad. There's some people are saying, "I will find you, Teddy." So they're making it their
there's a lot of people who want this coin out.
They want it out, and I think some because they know it's gonna fail, right? Like, Sega at any moment can just DMCA them.
Exactly, but again, it comes down to being like, oh, this became an actual, it was worth something at some point, and you can't say it's an official thing, right? Because it's not by Sega.
It's not by Sega. Yeah, it's obviously a scam.
Too.
And their marketing was kind of genius because when they announced the TailsTokens or like whatever big thing, it would go with Sega's movie marketing. Mm-hmm. So when they announced that the Knuckles spin-off token would come out, it was when Idris Elba posted that iconic photo of Knuckles' claw to announce that he was Knuckles. Is when they said, "Here's Knuckles token," so they can get the SEO of people looking for Knuckles. They can get Knuckles reveal and the Knuckles token at the same time.
Way too similar.
So that was and obviously they used Gold Sonic because I'm sure they figured that Super Sonic would appear in Sonic Boom 2.
Yeah.
Because the Master Emerald, the Chaos Emeralds, everything. But that was, I can't, so like I said, usually Scam Alert is meant to warn people. I can't really warn people because the token is dead.
But basically just don't fall. Do your research, basically. Don't fall for this.
And don't invest in any cryptocurrency
that you don't know.
That you don't know about. Like, here's what I learned. It's if you want to invest in a cryptocurrency, if the market cap is over $1 billion, then you can probably save. It's considered like a blue chip. But if it's under $100 million, it's probably really volatile and you'll lose all your money.
Yeah.
So
again, do this at your own risk.
And don't invest anything that you're not willing to lose. Don't put your life savings.
Don't take out that loan. Don't ask your mom for the extra $1,000. Your cousin, he's gonna come for you.
Yeah, you'll probably make more money playing on Sega's pachinko machines in Japan than you would off these cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
So just
not worth it.
Just do that instead. Because listen, Sega's no stranger to gambling. They love their pachinko machines.
Oh yeah,
they love it.
Yeah, I bet they make some money off that.
That's like, it's if it's not their Sonic is their biggest IP, it's the pachinko machines. Like, because I'm an investor in Sega and I look at their their financials. The pachinko machines like their biggest thing, and then it's the Sonic franchise, and then it's
That's
Sonic. That's
crazy. that is crazy.
That must be why in a lot of Sonic games there's casino influence.
Yeah, there's a ding ding.
There's a casino night.
Little sounds.
There's pinball too. Yeah. So there was bingo. There's a bingo level in Sonic Heroes, and then there was a Las Vegas level in Sonic Heroes.
They're just trying to imitate that casino ambience.
That's what they're known for.
You like gambling? You like Sonic too.
You like rings and gems. Obviously, you like gambling.
Obviously,
You know?
we have those.
Exactly. But so with Scam Alert, I usually warn people, but I can't warn because the scam is dead. But it's interesting because it's a Sonic scam.
Interesting, yeah.
It's a Sonic scam. So
what is that other one? Maybe I look for that other one. It'd be cool to have a Sonic currency. I'm doing this at my own risk.
The Knuckles token or
the Knuckles token,
super
Gold
Sonic,
or what is it?
Oh, Super Sonic is the one that was unrelated to Teddy, and then there's the Gold Sonic and the Knuckles token, Tails token were all related to Teddy scams.
Was that? Okay, then the other one.
Super Sonic.
Super Sonic. Yeah,
token.
I'm gonna take a look at that.
But with that being said, we'll have to close the show with our Florida Man stories.
Florida Man usual.
Florida Man usual.
Ooh.
And we're going down to Florida, and it's a Sonic story. I've actually found
this
a
might
SEGA.
be actually like one of the only Sonic stories out there, right?
Exactly. It is a SEGA or Sonic related Florida Man story.
Yeah, related, not sponsored.
Related, not sponsored. SEGA and TOTB do not condone the actions of this individual.
We do not.
So
again, people can do whatever they want with Sonic stuff as long as they don't profit from this. Did this guy profit from this, man? What did he do?
Let's find out, because in Florida, the title reads, "A Florida man tries to rob a bank wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog mask."
Of course. The most secure mask out there. What kind of mask was it?
He was trying to go fast.
I bet. What kind of mask was it? The ones where it's just the front and you get like a strap?
Yep. Those plastic rubber masks.
I thought it was going to be the ones where you actually put your head into it.
No.
Those are much safer.
He's going with the tiny one because he's got his hood on in this photo. So it says, last week, a man wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog mask and carrying a hammer tried to rob a bank in DeLand, Florida.
That's not what Sonic does.
Sonic
doesn't carry a hammer.
If that guy would like a somersault into the guy, then I'd be like, he is Sonic. You know, he just somersault into him.
Right.
But he didn't.
Flip into him.
As reported by the West Volusia Beacon via Kotaku, someone believed to be a man based on their voice attempted to rob a Florida credit union in DeLand whilst wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog mask. The robber used a hammer to repeatedly strike the barrier between himself and the teller, all while demanding money. After being confronted by a bank employee, the subject fled on foot. Everybody is safe and nothing was taken, and local police are on it, said the executive Brian Leatherman of the Florida Credit Union. After escaping on foot, he ran on foot.
He ran.
He's like,
gotta go fast.
His legs started spinning. He was doing the infinite.
The infinity as he's running.
Yeah, the infinite peel out. After escaping on foot, the suspect is still at large. That's how he's fast. You know, he wasn't caught.
Away. Yeah,
he wore that mask because he was just in like embracing Sonic.
Yeah, dude, embrace Sonic, and probably the embracement of some other stuff. But he got away.
An arrest has not yet been made, and the incident is currently under investigation, says the local police. And the police department obviously put out a few photos of him trying to rob this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my Sonic. My Sonic Florida Man story. It's strange how we go over this every single time we do a theme, and there's always
a theme
related.
Even a Sonic theme.
Even Sonic, man. Even Sonic.
Man, these guys are destroying the purity of Sonic himself.
Sonic would be ashamed.
And plus a hammer to a bulletproof glass.
Shameful.
What
is your story, Jay?
Well, mine has nothing to do with. Obviously, mines are obviously not related. Because there's only one Sonic story. I saw it. Mines are not related, but here mine's is another, typical weird Florida story. People doing what people do in Florida. Here's the title. It's half-naked Florida man crashed car into a jail. Let's see what it is. And this took place in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So Florida man is in jail after crashing his car into a jail, right? The Martin County Sheriff's Office said Joseph Leedy, 40 years old, who was half-naked and acting erratically, also made some alarming statements. The Martin County... Oh, sorry, I read that. Video captured the moment when Leedy drove his car from the jail parking lot up the walkway and then through the glass lobby doors of the facility in Jupiter. Of course, our cameras and our correctional officers said they saw the vehicle enter the lobby. They came out and were confronted by the suspect. He said that he crashed through the doors. Leedy threw rubber snakes. Sorry. So he pulled out rubber snakes. He threw them. and cell phones onto the ground and doused his vehicle with motor oil while being half naked from the waist down.
Oh no!
That is so random. He pulled out snakes. I wonder how to wear because he has no pockets. He's naked from the
And
waist
he's got
down.
one snake out already.
Yeah, he had. Right, and he pulled it out. He pulled out cell phones also from where? More than one. He had no pockets. And then oil, which he doused his car.
Imagine if he was wearing a jacket and he had the pockets there, and then he had like a shirt pocket, and that's where he
Oh,
pulled
he
out.
had like a sweater and then a jacket, and all the pockets on there is where he
Yeah.
had the shit, and then nothing under.
Or the glove compartment. You
Did
know,
he have socks and shoes?
Imagine if he did, but he put on his shirt and his shoes and socks, but he just did not put on any
No
pants.
pants. It's like a bad dream.
It's like that when you go to school naked dreams.
Yeah, it's
know?
like those terrifying, but he was kind of enjoying it, I guess, maybe. Okay, so Liddy also reportedly made homicidal statements and comments about former President Donald Trump.
Oh no!
He's anti-Donald Trump, man. He just talked about his hatred for the former president, Donald Trump. He also emphasized that the devil told him to kill as many people as possible. See, when it starts to get like that, it's crazy. I'm scared.
Now that is true
Kill.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh yeah,
right there.
kill as many people as possible. Trump
Imagine if the
sucks.
voices in his mind were Trump.
It was Trump, right?
Yeah.
It was Trump's voice.
Imagine if they were just Trump, like, listen, okay, what I need you to do is murder these people. They're all Democrats and they're radical leftists.
Probably, dude, instilling his own ideas into him.
Yeah.
That's scary. He probably could do that, dude. Trump is on another level. Let's see. So, Liddy faces multiple charges, including 4 counts of aggravated assault on an officer. As for the jail itself, the sheriff says they'll be installing extra protection this time. You know, from people getting out or in. You know, nobody's gonna be able to get into the jail anymore unless they want you to be there.
That is incredible. Only in Florida.
Only in Florida, yeah. But they put extra protection to keep you out of jail.
I feel like it would have been more appropriate if the Sonic robber guy would have been half naked. You know, just to truly encapsulate the Sonic spirit.
It really does, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has no clothes. Look at him.
If he wore gloves and just his like awesome sneakers, then
Just gloves, shoes, and socks.
that's all he needs. That's all he
Apparently
needs.
so. That was my Florida man.
So that was today's Sonic theme special. This is a Sonic Spectacular,
Awesome.
and we covered the fan base in a
Oh yeah.
not a positive light. It wasn't positive at all.
Not the best we've seen, you know.
It's the Sonic fan base is not sending their best. As the former
it's
president
not
would say.
sending their best.
They're not
you
sending
know.
their best.
Some of them we assume are great.
Some of whom I assume are nice people.
Or not,
Yeah.
yeah,
But they're not sending their best.
they're not, you know.
But I hope, however, if any of you watching are Sonic fans,
Yes.
you enjoyed the day by maybe reminiscing about what this franchise has done for you in your childhood. Maybe you've moved
yeah.
past Sonic, or maybe you're just getting back into it because of the popularity of the movies. Maybe you're with your kids and you're watching the popularity
Right, your kids are into it.
of the movies, the new games that are coming out. So
Mhm.
just use this as a moment to reflect on how long it's been. It's been 33 years
33 years, yo.
since this character has
Damn.
graced our TV screens.
Hell yeah. Sonic's older than a lot of you.
Sonic's older than us. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Sonic.
Mr. Sonic, he's gonna have to get married soon. He's in his 30s
Yeah,
now.
hey,
You know,
He's about passing his prime.
It's not fun
he
anymore.
Needs kids. Where's Sonic kids,
Sonic
man?
Jr.?
Look, he's got him ready.
we got modern Sonic and classic Sonic. But I hope you all enjoyed this little dive into the Sonic community and this little dive into the degenerate side of the Sonic community. And listen, there's usually one aspect that's degenerate that we all know about, but we don't know about the scammy side. So
It's everywhere. If you look for it, you'll find degeneracy.
you really will. And so I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys
Yeah.
had some good memories. We didn't talk about anything about the past about Sonic, but
Yeah.
hopefully you remembered he exists.
Hopefully you know and you were following him.
Exactly. Hopefully he exists. So until next week, when we return
Until next week.
when we return to our regularly scheduled programs
Yes, sir.
with our nighttime is our time
On our way there.
guests,
Yes, sir.
we will return with them, and we'll hope to see you then. So
Yep.
until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one.
Bye bye.